Welcome to our first game show. Does this make sense? So, here's the first question. If my iPad was able to hold a hour-long video and not say storage full, but can't take more than a 17-minute video, does that make sense? Answer, no. I don't know what the hell is wrong with this iPad. I deleted the video. I deleted it off of recently deleted too. And 17 minutes of video. Then I do like 10 minutes, not even, and it's gone. I think the iPad wants me to waste time because I'm always super far behind on my on my routine, I guess you could say. I like to read at least one issue of a comic every hour. That's how I'm able to finish all the books by next week. And it's 5:39, and I would have been already done. And I would have been already done, but I forgot about one book, and I feel the need to show it because again, well, actually, no, you guys. To be fair, and this is worth it. You guys commenting, so please do comment to my videos. I feel like I'm the only one here. Again, because a lot of you guys are probably busy. I will admit some of you guys probably are. I'll admit. Yeah. All right. Justice League Volume 2. I like Volume 1, so I got Volume 2. For the most part, I will get I will get when I get Jesus Christ. When I get Volume 2, it means I like Volume 1. You will see one that got Volume 2 of that I did not like Volume 1 of. And I preemptively got Volume 2. So I could get it for next week, I believe. Well, I love stuttering too. Apparently, because I do it all the time. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4, Original Sin. Yeah, Volume 1 of Justice League, I read on Prime Reading. And the first time, I guess the first time there was something else I wanted instead, so I returned it and I didn't finish Volume 1. I guess it was like, oh, any excuse to not to read that series again. But after rereading it, I liked it. The one book I forgot about, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. I think because it's such a thin-ass book, I just completely glossed over it. Or what I did was I grabbed 2 in 1. It's like, oh, here's Guardians of the Galaxy, and then put it down. And then I didn't see it. To be fair, the back of it, because there's plastic wrap over it, I couldn't really see it real well, couldn't see the details, and I thought it was an Avengers book. So maybe I picked up New Avengers, which is right after it, I thought that was it. I don't know, maybe. But New Avengers Volume 4. Oh yeah, and because there were so many books, here's all of them, plus those 3 I just went over, or those few I just went over. They were 3 of them were in one, and then the other 13 were in another one, for a total of 16, because 13 came in one day, 3 the next day. The bag was like overflowing, and they couldn't even tie it, I guess, because it was open, and it really freaked me out because I thought that I was scared that one of 2 of them had fallen out, which I didn't. I counted to make sure. Avengers Fear the Reaper. Mark Gruenwald writes some of these issues, and I didn't like Mark Gruenwald's writing. Roy Thomas too. You guys know how I feel about Roy Thomas. But Bob Harras comes on for however many issues, so hopefully Bob Harras will be the swan song. Hopefully Bob Harras will write issues I like. Lazarus Volume 5. I can't words. It's just called Volume 5, like called 5. Copperhead Volume 4. We like that series. In this series, Chew Volume 9. Lazarus. If they don't have the next volume in the series, I'll be done with the series. I'm kind of sort of looking for any excuse to not continue reading this series. But it is an interesting enough book for me to want to see to see what happens. See what happens next. See, one of the things about doing a third cut is that I finally got the right words out of what I meant to say for things. Okay, Royal City Volume 1. I can't words. And I watch the video and I cringe because I can't words. Skyward Volume 3. Really like that Skyward series. That Royal City I would have gotten a long time ago, but I had to finish Essex County, and then I just completely forgot about it. And then when I remembered about it, I was like, I don't have sweet tooth, and I don't want to read anything Jeff Lemire. I'm really weird like that. I don't know why I'm so weird like that. But then I finally got that sweet tooth book, and then books. And then, yeah. Go ahead. Manhattan Project Volume 3. Middle West Volume 2. Yeah, on top of stuttering all the damn time. I stuttered in this cut. Voice crack too. I also like to talk, prattle on and on about one book and prattle on and on about useless shit. Motor Crush Volume 2. You can tell how happy I am to continue reading this SJW crap. It's not crap, it's just the artwork is so damn ugly. Like, you would have to try to write, you have to try to draw, you would have to really try to draw characters this ugly. Like, I don't know what it is. It's definitely SJW. Like, if you were to pick an SJW comic, this is what you would get for artwork. But the storyline is good enough. I guess I wanted to see what it was. So I wanted to finish it. There's only 2 volumes too. So in the series, probably got canceled because Image like, get this shit out of my fucking face, man. Forever. Booster Gold, I'll never see them unless solicitations. Booster Gold Volume 1, 52 pickup. No cover for this one. I must have lost the cover. Oh, no, the dust jacket, not cover. Dust jacket. I must have lost the dust jacket. This is Jeff Johns Booster Gold. I just found out about that when I was looking at Jeff Johns books and the solicitations, so I know nothing about that series, just that it got good reviews and it's Jeff Johns. Another DC DC Comics Classic Library one, and that's The Flash of Two Worlds. They did this for Superman, and that Superman Kryptonite Nevermore book. And what I find ironic is that both Kryptonite Nevermore and Two Worlds Flash both got deluxe editions recently, and then they also have DC Comics Classic Library editions, which I had to get. And finally, but certainly last but certainly not the least, The Inkle, a series I know nothing about and just had recommended. And Jem Mint was doing like a omnibus haul, and he had that, and he was saying that a lot of people recommended he check that out, and I was like, hey, I wonder if it's something local library. Sure enough, it was. Okay, so reading recommendations now. Hellblazer. Finally, we're getting somewhere with this series. And last volume was good too. You know, I liked the whole storyline with him with cancer, and it was really interesting. But it was kind of slow too, and it was very wordy, and did not seem like Garth Ennis. Finally, especially with the Steve Dillon issues, when Steve Dillon draws and Garth Ennis writes, you know, powerhouse team behind Preacher. Once they team up, they knock it out of the park. It is so damn good. I highly recommend it. And even like the Jamie Delano series, for the most part, is not that bad. Some issues are terrible, but most issues are good. For every issue that is bad of Jamie Delano's run, you get 5 good issues. So I would recommend you start with Volume 1 and then continue on from there. And then Garth Ennis comes on Volume 5 midway through. I think. No, sorry, Volume 4, he comes midway in, I think. Pretty sure. Because I remember, yeah, because Volume 5, if I'm not mistaken, was almost all Garth Ennis. Or Volume 6. I know Volume 6 was. But no, I don't know. I'd have to look at the titles. No, Volume 5, he comes midway in. And Volume 6, he's there for good. Trick or Treat, that horror movie kind of thing, that movie that I had, it was kind of a horror movie, more of a horror comedy type thing, kind of. It's more of it's like a, you know, campy thing. Not campy, but it was, yeah, I guess you can say it's campy. I can't words. Okay, so let's go on with it, Justin. Okay, so, 5:47 already. It was like an anthology, like, kind of like the EC Comics. I think that's what they were inspired by. And if for those of you who don't know, Trios of Horror Simpsons, it's like that. Half of my audience is Simpsons. That's why I don't get as many views anymore, because I don't do Simpsons shit. Too fucking bad for people that want Simpsons. I don't collect the Simpsons comics anymore, and I don't like to review movies that much, so I'm not going to review the TV show at all. Maybe I would if I did Movie Madness, which is that channel, that series I used to do on HCTV a while back. I need to get back to that and start uploading shit on here from Movie Madness. But yeah, Trick or Treat. I'm getting so sidetracked. Okay, Trick or Treat was a good movie, good anthology. Some stories I liked better than others in the movie, but it was still pretty good. It was only like an hour, not even an hour and a half. It was like 82 minutes, so it was very quick. Bad Education, I really enjoyed. It was a very interesting situation that they had to go through. I knew nothing about it, so it was even more interesting to me. So I don't know how interesting it would be to someone who knows everything about it. And it had a bit of a slow start, but I didn't mind it at all. I like the characters, I like the writing, so it was enough for me to keep. It was enough to keep me entertained while they took their damn time to get to the actual plot. Taxi Driver, I felt the exact opposite. While I did like the movie, it is just as good as people are saying it is. It's very slow paced. I feel like I need to watch it a second time, but that'll probably be in a year or two when I watch that again. I feel like it is only because this also deals with mental illness and came out around the same time. Cuckoo's Nest is better. Although Taxi Driver does not take place in a mental institution. I wouldn't say he had a mental disability. He was just isolated. Well, he has isolation problems. TMNT, that Ultimate Collection book, started out really damn good. The first issue was kind of slow, but only because I already knew everything. It was just going through the origin story, which I knew everything about. But after that, it picks up. And then they have like a 4-part, not miniseries, but a 4-part storyline. There we go. A 4-part storyline with Triceratops. And I was like, this is way too convoluted. This is not my thing. And they can make that work. I'm sure they can. I'm sure that the TV show and not the TV show, the movies made ridiculous shit work for me. The first one, anyways, it's the only one I've seen. So, and it was just it was slow, very very wordy at times. A lot of words on the page, a lot of dialogue. But then it ended when the book ended. That storyline ended too. So volume 2 should hopefully pick up and be better than be just as good as volume 1 started out with being. Okay, knock on wood. Transmetropolitan. So there's two one-shots after the series ends. And the series just capped off so damn good. It was such a damn good ending. It wasn't messy at all, wasn't convoluted, it wasn't disappointing at all. It was a damn good ending. And then they came out, they didn't come out right after it. Like once issue 60 came out, I think that was it. But they on this volume they just tacked on those 2 one-shots that they neglected to put on earlier, and those 2 one-shots were super boring. I didn't read the second one. The first one I read, and they were both the same thing. It was just Spider Jerusalem's articles just tabbed on there, and it just had some artwork, splash pages with his with his articles on the side, and it was just words. It wasn't a story. It was just articles, news articles written by Spider Jerusalem. And while he's an interesting enough character, the news articles were still not interesting to me. I don't read news articles, and they kind of bore me for the most part. Unless they're on something I'm interested in, like comics and movies and TV show and stuff. Other than that, I don't watch the news or read newspapers. So that was really boring for me, and I skipped it. I skipped out after that first one-shot. I didn't need to read the last one-shot because it wasn't moving the story forward at all, or anything like that. It wasn't the story at all. So I skipped out. But it did end. Other than that, I highly, highly recommend this series. It ended on a great note, and it was a satisfying ending. So it was a satisfying book. More than a satisfying book. Batgirl started out really bad. I almost dropped it. The artwork was ugly. The artwork was the same artwork as Motor Crush, but not as ugly as Motor Crush. It did not fit the character of Batgirl. It felt like more like a Batgirl, like a young adult book, one of those DC Ink books. I think some of the artwork in DC Ink books are better. But then it picked up, and I was like, thank God it picked up, and then I ended up liking it. So I'm gonna finish off that series, the new 52 series. And it took me a long time to get into that series because it changed from Gail Simone to Cameron Stewart, and I heard that's when people skipped out and didn't read it all. Flash, so damn disappointed to find out that the series ended after that Francis Manapul's run, anyways, because it was so damn good. That Flash series, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Do yourself a favor and check it out. It's a new 52 series. It's a new 52 at its best. Chew, just as good as ever. X-Men Volume 7, however, was not. It's the last volume and did not feel like a last volume. And even though it said, oh, it's going to be continued in X-Men 600, even after reading that, it didn't feel like it ended. It really ended. It was kind of like it was, oh, Brian Michael Bendis' run is ended. So, but we can still keep going, keep the same storyline he built going. You know, without him, the one who started this storyline in the first place. It was more Uncanny X-Men than an all-new X-Men, which this was. And it was very convoluted, too. Like, it was a, tie-in to an event. It was extremely confusing at first. And then once they finished that off, it kind of picked up, but even then it was, eh. And then it was one where Iceman turns out to be gay, and that was handled pretty bad. So yeah, not that great. Copperhead, just as good as ever. Wicked and the Divine. Well, obviously Copperhead was good as ever, because I have that Volume 4. Wicked and the Divine, Volume 8, was just a fill-in volume. A bunch of one-shots, and like with Transmetropolitan, one of them was just text. Almost all of it was just text. They did like an Agatha Christie novel thing, and with the characters in the Wicked and the Divine. Felt like a very bad fan fiction. Other than that, everything else was just very forgettable. I don't remember anything from any of them. I remember one of them had to do with, like, Julius Caesar, that's it. And it was just very boring, too. I remember it being bored. Scalped starts out really slow, but then picks up, and I'm so glad I always stated Volume 2, because I'm going to continue with that series. And Guardians was just as good as ever. That's it.